Hey, what's up, radio? Welcome to episode number 22 here on season 2. And today we are getting into paying taxes and Acorns. Or more specifically, how do I pay Acorns through, or how do I pay taxes through Acorns? This question comes from 2Fly101. And he asks, do you withdraw money from your Acorns account to pay taxes on your Acorns gains? Or do you use money you already have? Real quickly, just a simplified answer, no, I do not pay taxes on the Acorns gains with my Acorns account. That comes out of my personal account. Let's go ahead and get into a real quick breakdown on when you have to pay taxes, and then we'll jump into the reasons why I use my personal account to pay taxes on my Acorns account. Real quickly, you have to pay taxes on a investment account when you take a realized gain. A realized gain would be, for instance, you buy a stock at $20 and then you sell it at $25. Thus, you make a gain of $5. That $5 that you made has to pay, you have to pay tax on that $5. The actual $20 original investment, you don't have to pay any taxes on. You also have to pay taxes when you get paid a dividend. A dividend is something that usually gets paid quarterly, monthly, or yearly. A lot of Acorns ETFs do pay dividends, so just be aware that you have to pay taxes on those dividends as well. Also, in that regard, the longer that you hold an ETF, for instance, if you hold it for a year or longer, it actually drops you down into a lower tax bracket than if you were to sell within that same year, where you would be paying a higher tax bracket. You would be considered, if you hold it longer than a year, you would be considered like a long-term investor, paying a lower tax bracket than if you were to sell within that year. You would be considered more of a trader and thus paying a higher tax bracket according to the United States government. Acorns will also furnish a form, provide you with a form that lists all the gains that you made, all the dividends that were paid to you, and they will also give that to the IRS. They have to report that, and then you also have to report that. So just be aware that Acorns reports your gains. So if you're trying to be sneaky about it, it's already been reported. So I would do your best to claim it and then pay taxes on the gains that you made. However, to dive into more of your question, taxes is one of those things that I expect to pay every single year. More or less, over the last couple of years, I've been, lucky enough to get a refund. However, this year I expect to pay. I go into every single tax season expecting to pay, and so when I get a refund, or if I get a refund, it's like a nice bonus. It's like, oh, cool, I didn't expect that. I like to keep as much money invested into Acorns as possible, so that way I can let the snowball effect run its course, or let the compounding interest do its thing. I would rather pay with the money that I have now in my personal account instead of selling Acorns money, thus allocating that towards taxes, and then next year I'm going to have to pay taxes on the money that I sold, and so on and so forth. I would rather just take care of it out of my own personal account. I understand that this does not get reported on the actual overall gains and losses on the account. So when I look at the Acorns app, my performance is going to be a little bit better because I didn't pay whatever a 15% tax off those capital gains or off those dividends that I made. When I look at that, that's something that I look forward to in this year or possibly next year as the account grows, actually tracking my profits and losses on those accounts, and then specifically adding in the taxes into those profits and losses. But my main goal with any type of investment account is to keep my money in there for as long as I can, to keep it working for me. I think it's more important for the money to stay in there, to compound, like I said before, while I can still use my paychecks that I get to help fund the taxes instead of paying them from my Acorns account. Plus, right now, my Acorns account is not too big, and so it's not like I'm leveraging a whole lot of money of my own to pay for those taxes. It's really going to be minute because of the size of the account and how much I bought and sold last year. With that, we'll go ahead and dive into the question of the day, which is, if animals could talk, which would be the rudest? And hands down, it would be the feline, the cat. Whether it be the tiger, lion, house cat, whatever. I feel like those creatures are just independent. It's not that I don't like cats at all. I actually do appreciate them and love them. It's just that cats in general are very independent, and it's almost like they do already in their actions act kind of rude. Dogs would be probably the friendliest because they just love companionship and that kind of thing. But cats are almost the exact opposite in regards to friendship. Based upon from what I've seen, I would have to agree that cats would be the rudest if they could speak. But let's go ahead and dive into the PayPal account real quick just to show you guys the transparency. So right here on the 19th, I did buy a transcribing. It cost me $8. And that came from mostly what Kevin gave me plus the $5 that I matched him. And then up here, because of Hector and Timothy, I did match you guys right here. It's still processing. It probably should show up in the next couple days. This payment right here from Sarah is actually from my eBay account, my business PayPal. This is my business PayPal account, so it's all linked together. But this money will get deposited into my personal account here shortly. And then lastly, Jacob Edmondson, I have to give it off to you, man. Thanks for the $10 donation, and that will be matched right now as we speak. Got to log back in. Here we go. So transferring from my Navy Federal account to my PayPal account for the amount of $10. And transfer, and done. Awesome. So there's that. Everything is all in a row. Right now I plan on having one video transcribed a week, just because I don't want to like overload the person that I'm working with to try to transcribe. It takes her about 7 days to turn around. So with that, like I was saying, if you have any questions regarding Stash, Acorns, Robinhood, as well as general investing advice, business, Etsy, coaching, post those questions down below. Don't forget to subscribe up here and check out my Acorns Recap December edition. Check out this other video right here. And as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.